was granted.
Good afternoon. With us now for the rest of the week, at least over southern parts of Britain, and that means tonight's temperatures looking like this, 6 to 9 degrees. They'll occur in the early part of the night, in fact getting milder as the night goes on, with the wind freshening. Now there are some showers, a cluster of showers across the north and west of Scotland, one or two very light ones across England as well. But it's a more persistent rain coming into the north and west of Scotland this evening that's going to be most noteworthy, driven on by a gale force southwesterly wind. And that's how things probably will look by the end of the night, the odd patch moving further south across the north of England into Wales, the odd spot of drizzle further south. That's the chart for lunchtime tomorrow, with a strong run of mild winds up across the country. It does mean to say it'll be a very gusty day, a cloudy start with outbreaks of rain in a number of areas, particularly in the north and the west of the country, but skies brightening in the south later on.
Cromwell Street. 12 women and children murdered. 12 who disappeared. But how could so many have gone missing? And how much did the authorities know? Now the inside story can be told. The Cromwell Street Murders, tonight, 9:30 on BBC2.
We begin a testing hour on BBC2 now. There's the heat of competition in the kitchen in 30 minutes. First, today's the day.
Good afternoon and welcome to Wednesday the 22nd of November. Today's the day in 1946 the first ballpoint pen went on sale. It was invented by the Hungarian Laszlo Biro, or as we uneducated folk would say, Biro. Perhaps we should have hung on to that fact for a question, but we're not hanging on to these classic clips. Here's a quick taster of what's coming up in today's show just for you at home.
3 years will see a new national power system and the end of power cuts. Till then, Mr. and Mrs. Modern Man are back in the Stone Age.
Oh, he's fat, oh, crazy, he's fat, oh, man, and a fat boy has robbed him all the wee bits since he had.
The usual crop of great clips there. Now come and meet today's two teams. First of all, we welcome Shirley Taylor, a barmaid from Telford, and John Bedford, a retired accountant from Market Drayton. And positively raring to take them on, we have Roy Elkington, a retired local government officer from Branston near Lincoln, and his daughter Karen Haynes, a CID administrative clerk from Northampton, completing our contestant lineup for today's the day. And whoever wins the first part of today's programme will face reigning champions Mick Howard and Pat Page in the second half of the show. All of them playing for our grand prize, 2 round-the-world air tickets. Right, let us soar into round 1, which is Stop the Clip. Fingers on buzzers. Buzz when you think you can answer the question about the clip. The sooner you buzz, of course, the more points you get. And we start with a report from today in 1977. What is this story? Start the clip.
Is it really worth £900 return?
I think so. I personally have a lunch date today in Midtown, so I think it can prove to be exceptionally worthwhile for the businessmen.
The passenger list included politicians, industrialists, trade unionists, a stamp dealer, and simple aviation enthusiasts.
Roy and Karen?
The first flight of Concorde
to
America.
Yes, a report from today in 1977 about Concorde's first flight to the United States of America. Next, a report from today in 1990. What is this story about? Start the clip.
At 9 o'clock this morning came the official call from number 10.
Roy and Karen?
Margaret Thatcher resigning as Prime Minister.
Yes, Mrs. Thatcher losing her fight to remain Prime Minister today in 1990. Let's see the rest of that.
It's obviously not what we hoped for. I think it's a tragedy for the country. But having said that, we all must respect that judgment and rally round now and look ahead to the future.
A report now from today in 1989. What is this story? Start the clip.
Payment for shares will be in 3 instalments, spread over almost 2.
Roy and Karen?
British gas shares going on
No,
sale.
restart the clip.
But
Shirley and John?
Telecom shares.
No, restart the clip.
the government won't even cover its costs.
What the government is doing is trying to bribe people to ignore the problems facing this industry and to take on this investment simply because the government wants to get the issue off.
Shirley and John?
Electricity shares.
No, restart the clip.
The government has done everything.
Shirley and John?
Water shares.
Yes, we got there in the end. I thought we were going to work our way through all the privatisations for a minute. It was the launch of the water privatisation share price today in 1989. Now some music from the charts today in 1982. Can you name both the singer and the song? I need both for the correct answer. Start the clip.
Tell me only this, that I have your heart.
Shirley and John?
Lionel Richie and Girl.
No, restart the clip.
For always, and you want me by your side, whispering the words I'll always love.
Shirley and John?
Lionel Richie Always.
No. And there's hardly any more of the clip left, is there? Let's give it another burst for 1 second. Well, no extra clues there, and it looks like I'm going to have to tell you. It is Lionel Richie, of course, the song Truly, which reached number 6 in the charts. Here's how.
'Cause I'm truly, truly in love with you, girl. I'm truly head over heels with your love.
So, at the end of round 1, we have Shirley and John on 3 points, Roy and Karen setting a strong early lead with 18. So, on to round 2, our TV round, a selection of classic programmes which were on the air on this very day in years gone by. 3 clips for Shirley and John. First, our usual desperately difficult questions to follow.
Spotty Dog had run off and found Sam.
Oh, well, so that's what you were trying to tell me.
Sam, quick!
Hey there, Buttercup, what are you doing? Come you out at once.
Quick, Sam, hurry. She's eating the roller towel.
Oh.
Though there's not much in the larder, don't we have fun? Times are hard and getting harder, still we have fun. There's nothing surer, the rich stay rich and the poor get poorer. In the meantime, in between time, ain't we got fun?
Right, Shirley and John. Any idea what those 3 programmes were?
The Wooden Tops.
Right, from 1955. Second?
Petula Clark.
Yeah,
Petula Clark.
Yes, The Sound of Petula from 1974. And the third?
The 2 Ronnies.
Well, you're halfway there. It was Ronnie Corbett in the Saturday Special from 1975. Your point-scoring questions coming up. Mr. and Mrs. Woodentop had twins. What were their names?
Go on then.
Sally and Simon.
No, Willie and Jenny. Who was the male voice behind the characters in the series?
No idea.
No,
No
it was
idea.
Peter Hawkins. Petula Clark was singing Ain't We Got Fun from the 50s film By the Light of the Silvery Moon. Who starred in it with Gordon McRae?
Doris Day.
Yes, it was Doris Day. In which 60s film musical did Petula Clark star with Peter O'Toole? No.
No.
Goodbye, Mr. Chips. We saw Ronnie Corbett there, as you rightly said. On which show did he first appear together with Ronnie Barker?
That was the week that was.
No, it was The Frost Report. Can you name the actress who played his mother in the comedy series Sorry?
I don't know her name.
That's Ronnie Corbett's mother.
No,
No, sorry.
It was Barbara Lott. And we've got 3 clips coming up now to test the memories of Roy and Karen.
City of Dells, how nice. Way down on a half.
Be faithful. Only to me. Not to him. Our unholy father who prays to a nameless God. You shall have the world, not the hereafter, and your name eternal.
Is it for all time, or simply a lark? Is it Granada I see, or only Asbury Park?
Is it a fancy not worth thinking of?
Or is it a long, last love?
Roy and Karen, how are we doing with those? First one?
Pinky and Perky.
Right, from 1962.
The second one, no idea.
Fellow.
The Borgias from 1981. And the third?
Tony Bennett and Karen Kay.
It was Karen Kay from 1984. Point scoring questions coming up. Was it Pinky or Perky who wore the hat?
Perky.
Yes, you got it right. 50% chance of being right there. We heard them singing Consider Yourself from the musical Oliver. Who wrote the song?
Lionel Bart.
Correct. Who played Rodrigo Borgia in the series?
Brian Blessed.
No, it was Adolfo Celli. Couldn't be further removed from Brian Blessed, I have to say. In the 60s, Adolfo Celli starred in the film Von Ryan's Express. Which American singer played the unpopular American captain who leads English prisoners in a train escape?
Frank Sinatra.
Correct. Who was singing with Karen Kay?
Tony Bennett.
No, it was Buddy Greco. They were singing At Long Last Love. Who wrote it?
George Gershwin.
No, Cole Porter. So at the end of round 2, we have Shirley and John languishing on 8. Got to have to do something about that. Roy and Karen on 33. Okay, on to our famous faces round. On the video wall, we have 4 years. Hiding behind each ear, a well-known person in a classic clip from the Today's the Day archive. Shirley and John, you have first crack at the wall.
1976.
1976.
Well, it's been part of me for as long as I can remember. And when you have something like that, well, you carry it on daily, and at times you turn to it particularly. And after a hard day's work or a rough day in the House of Commons, and I can go back and either play the piano or play my clavichord or put on a stereo record.
Edward Heath speaking about his love for music today in 1976. His other hobby is, of course, sailing. In 1971 and 1979, he captained the British yachting team in which race?
The Admiral's Cup.
He's right. Roy and Karen, your choice.
1969.
1969. Stewart, the toast of the town, today in 1969. He had his first Formula One race 4 years earlier. For which team?
Lotus.
No, offer it to Shirley and John.
BRM.
It was BRM, yes. And it's your choice on the wall.
1978.
1978.
Well, it's a book written in the first person with a male narrator, and it's on a subject that I've dealt with before in various ways, the notion of giving up the world.
Iris Murdoch speaking about her Booker Prize-winning novel today in 1978. What was its title?
The Thornbirds.
No, offer it to Roy and Karen. It was The Sea, the Sea. And Roy and Karen, you were left with 1987.
I wanna watch Rembrandt's sketch. I wanna talk theory with Curie. Ooh, impossible, I guess.
Donna Summer singing Dinner with Gershwin on Top of the Pops today in 1987. Can you name her only UK #1 hit?
I Feel Love.
Right, which reached #1 in 1977. So, at the end of round 3, the scores stand at 18 points for Shirley and John. Roy and Karen hanging on to their lead with 38. Right, fingers back on buzzers for the round that decides who goes on to this afternoon's final and who goes home. 5 points for every question. It's time for our quickfire playoff. Today in 1975, Juan Carlos was sworn in as king. Shirley and John?
John Carlos, he became King of Spain in 75.
Spain is the answer, yes. Name King Juan Carlos's wife. Shirley and John?
Juliana.
No. Offer it to Roy and Karen.
Sophia.
Is right. Name the English composer chiefly known for his work with Sir W.S. Gilbert, who died. Roy and Karen?
Arthur Sullivan.
Sir Arthur Sullivan is right. He died today in 1900. By which name were the operettas of Gilbert and Sullivan? Roy and Karen?
Savoy.
Well interrupted. The Savoy Operas was the collective name for those operettas. Name the former French general and first president of the Fifth Republic who was born today in 1890. Shirley and John?
Pétain.
No. Offer it to Roy and Karen.
De Gaulle.
De Gaulle is right. Who is the current president of France? Shirley and John?
Giscard d'Estaing.
No. Offer it to Roy and Karen.
Mitterrand.
No, it's Jacques Chirac. Born today in 1967. Which tennis player was the first German? Roy and Karen?
Boris Becker.
Yes, well interrupted. I was going to say he was the first German to win the men's Wimbledon singles title. How old was Boris Becker? Interruption. Roy and Karen?
17.
Well interrupted again. I was going to ask you how old was Boris Becker when he became Wimbledon champion. As you rightly said, 17, and that's the end of our quickfire playoff. When we find Shirley and John on 23 points, Roy and Karen making absolutely no doubt about their victory with 68. So that means that Roy and Karen have made it through to this afternoon's final in just a few moments. But I'm afraid we have to say goodbye to Shirley and John. You leave, however, with our unique consolation prize, newspapers printed and published on the very days that you were born. And Shirley, on your birthday, it was discovered that a painting entitled Mermaid that had hung in an exhibition of modern art in Birmingham and attracted a great deal of attention had in fact been painted by an 8-year-old boy. The painting had been secretly entered as a joke by the child's father, who said he was astonished by the number of people taken in. What a wonderful trick. And John, on your birthday, it was announced by Brighton Council that noise levels from racing speedboats had reached intolerable levels. The council decided that the situation had begun to force holidaymakers away to other quieter resorts. The decision was taken to issue permits only to boats that had silencers fitted and maintained.
Thank you very much.
Where are they now, we wonder? And now it's your turn at home to have a crack at winning 2 round-the-world air tickets.
Sweet music on the streets from today in 1993. Who had a #1 hit song with My Old Man's a Dustman? A. Marty Wilde, B. Tommy Steele, or C. Lonnie Donegan? If you know the answer, ring 0891 339900. One winner, selected at random from the right answers, can choose an electronic personal organiser or a colour television. 5 runners-up win a copy of the new Today's the Day book. They all get a chance to compete for our grand prize, a pair of round-the-world air tickets. That's 0891 339900, and the lines stay open until midnight. And the answer to yesterday's question, Noel Edmonds presented the very first National Lottery Live television programme.
And we'll give you that question and the phone number once again right at the end of the programme. Well, time now to welcome back our reigning champions from yesterday. They are, of course, Pat Page and Mick Howard. And before we move on to the video wall, let's find out a little more about today's challengers. Roy, a keen sportsman, I hear.
That's right, yes. I used to play a lot of football, cricket in my younger days. I've now progressed down to lawn bowls, flat green bowls. I've had a good season as well this year. We've won quite a few cups with our club. And yeah, it's been quite successful.
And Karen, an administrative clerk with the CID, what does that involve you with?
Basically, a lot of paperwork. When it's all been to court or dealt with in any other way, we clear the files, which is basically informing the victims of the results, informing Scotland Yard of the results, filing away all the paperwork. It's quite interesting. All
the backroom stuff that we don't really hear about, but
That's
which
right.
has to go on in order to
Yes.
wrap up everything and put a neat little bow on it.
Exactly.
Well done. Let's see if you can put any neat little bows on our video wall. There are 8 clips here, some more difficult to answer questions about than others, so you do have a choice, and as you can see, the clips are worth either 5, 10 or 15 points. I need hardly remind you that there's a great deal riding on the choice that you make. You do need to choose extremely carefully. Roy and Karen, as challengers, you kick off.
Bottom left, please.
Bottom left for 15 points.
In 4 hours, of course, you cannot turn out a fully trained fireman. So therefore, we do the best we can by putting over those rudimentary points that will put him in a fairly good position to be able to fight a fire and at the same time make sure that he himself doesn't become a casualty.
The Army preparing to take the place of the Fire Brigade today in 1977. For 15 points, who wrote the film version of London's Burning, which spawned the successful TV series?
Sorry, I don't know.
Offer it to Pat and Mick.
Jack Rosenthal.
Is right, and it's your choice on the wall.
Bottom right, please.
Bottom right for 15 points.
Like other denominations, the Church of England inherited hundreds of buildings from the Victorian era, which are now redundant and rotting.
It angers me that the church has property which could be used for good housing for people in very great housing need, and that there are times when it fails to look at those opportunities and simply sells to the highest bidder.
Luxury flats here can fetch up to £1 million in an area where the problem of homelessness is among the most acute in the country.
Concern over the church's activities for the homeless being voiced today in 1994. For 15 points, name the founder of the Big Issue magazine whose wife set up the body shop chain.
Mr. Roddick.
I want the first name. You're not getting away with that for 15 points.
Alan?
No, offer it to Roy and Karen.
Your guess, Samuel?
No, Gordon it was, and Roy and Karen is your choice on the wall.
Bottom middle.
Bottom middle for 10 points.
Carol Eshelby has the debilitating condition repetitive strain injury. Her invalidity benefits of £56.10 a week were stopped in July this year after she was assessed by the Department of Social Security. They wrote to her recommending light work, giving as one example an artist's model, which would include posing nude.
Repetitive strain injury hitting the headlines today in 1993. For 10 points, which letter is immediately to the right of the letter T on a standard typewriter keyboard?
Y.
Well done, in unison and right. Pat and Mick, your choice.
Top middle, please.
Top middle for 10 points.
What any student will find hard to get used to is the long time a vessel takes to react to the controls, just like the real thing. Using this second console, I should be able to control the model of the 80,000-ton tanker without looking at it. The television monitor gives me the view from the wheelhouse. A prism and gear arrangement show as much as the captain on the bridge would see, and no more.
Televisual tanker training today in 1973. For 10 points, where is the world's largest artificial harbour?
Rotterdam?
Rotterdam is right, in the Netherlands, with 76 miles of quays, just for the record. Roy and Karen, your choice.
Middle right, please.
Middle right for 10 points.
One unlucky morning, modern man comes down for a nice old-fashioned cup of tea, and what does he see? He sees there's no light. He sees there's no tea. He sees there's no breakfast. He sees he's up. He's late for work, loses his job because the clock stopped. And this is why. It's a power cut. 3 years will see a new national power system and the end of power cuts. Till then, Mr. and Mrs. Modern Man are back in the Stone Age.
Power failure putting pay to modern man's breakfast today in 1948. For 10 points, name the first large-scale atomic power station built in this country.
Sizewell.
No. Offer it to Pat and Mick.
Windscale?
No, it was in fact Calder Hall, opened by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth on the 17th of October 1956. And Pat and Mick, your choice.
Middle left.
Middle left for 10 points.
This is Eskdale in Cumberland, and this is the Upper Esk. Magnificent, tough, brutal countryside. The training ground of Joss Naylor, the king of the fell runners. A fell runner needs the speed of a racehorse and the stamina of a cart horse. He also needs an iron will and an incredible degree of fitness. Joss Naylor possesses all these qualities.
A report on the attractions of fell running from today in 1973. For 10 points, name the highest mountain in England.
Scafell Pike.
Is right. Roy and Karen, your choice.
Top right.
Top right for 5 points.
Hold your 10-gallon hats on. The Redskins reckon on a big haul. Well, somebody's got to pay for Christmas drinks at Deadwood Gulch. It was rough while it lasted, but the sheriff's posse turned up in time. From the trackless prairies of Surrey, bucking broncos try to empty saddles in the old corral. It looks easy, but some of these Mustangs are man-killers.
Bucking broncos of all shapes and sizes in a rodeo for the troops today in 1945. For 10 points, which film set in a rodeo town starred Marilyn Monroe as a cafe singer?
Some Like It Hot?
No, offer it to Pat and Mick.
No. Sorry.
It was Bus Stop, and Pat and Mick, you were left with top left for 5 points.
Oh, he's football crazy, he's football mad, and a football it has robbed him all the wee bit since he hadn't. It would take a dozen skivvies, his place to wash and scrub, since the job became a member of that terrible football club.
Football on the hoof today in 1973. For 5 points, what is the height of a horse measured in?
Hands.
Is right. So, at the end of that round, we have Roy and Karen on 10 points, Pat and Mick moving decisively into the lead with 40. And that brings us to our final round. Time to beat the clock. 60 seconds of questions about the 22nd of November, but only one team member can play, and reigning champions have to take it in turns. So, Pat, that means you. Let's go. 60 seconds starting now. Born today in 1819, novelist Mary Ann Evans is better known by which name?
Don't know.
George Eliot. Born today in 1808, which Englishman pioneered the package tour?
Thomas Cook.
Correct. The play Having a Ball was on the London stage today in 1990. Who wrote it?
Alan Ayckbourn.
Alan Bleasdale. Today in 1988, who was in the pop charts with Orinoco Flow?
Don't know.
Enya. Born today in 1899, who composed the songs Stardust and Thanks for the Memory?
Hoagie Carmichael.
Correct. Born today in 1943, which sports star won 20 Wimbledon titles?
Billie Jean King.
Right. Today in 1986, who became the youngest ever world heavyweight boxing champion, beating Trevor Berbick?
Don't know.
Mike Tyson. Born today in 1940, Terry Gilliam was a member of which comedy team?
Monty Python.
Correct. Name the American lyricist who collaborated with Richard Rodgers on songs such as My Funny... I'll finish the question. He collaborated with Richard Rodgers on songs such as My Funny Valentine, and he died today in 1943.
Lawrence Hart.
Is right. Now, Roy, your target to beat is a reachable, I have to tell you, 90. Let's go. 60 seconds starting now. Born today in 1932, which actor portrayed Napoleon Solo in TV's The Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
Robert Vaughan.
Correct. Born today in 1913, who composed Billy Budd and The Turn of the Screw?
Don't know.
Benjamin Britten. Today is the feast day of St. Cecilia, patron saint of which branch of the arts?
Painting.
No music. The play Absurd Person Singular was on the London stage today in 1990. Who wrote it?
Don't know.
Alan Ayckbourn. Today in 1972, which group was in the pop charts with Crazy Horses?
Rolling Stones.
No, the Osmonds. John F. Kennedy was assassinated during an official visit to Dallas today in which year?
1963.
Correct. Today in 1497, Portuguese navigator Vasco da Gama rounded the Cape of Good Hope in his search for a route to which country?
Australia.
No, India. Name the actress who starred in the films She Done Him Wrong and Myra Breckinridge, who died today in 1980.
Don't know.
Mae West. Born today in 1924, American actress Geraldine Page won an Oscar for her performance in which 80s film?
Don't know.
The Trip to Bountiful. And that's it. Well, Roy, luck of the draw there. You had some tough questions that you were up against. You and Karen have ended our contest with 30 points. Pat and Mick are very clear victors with a splendid 90. And that means that Pat and Mick stay our reigning champions. We'll see you both again tomorrow. But we have to say goodbye to Roy and Karen. You leave with our special consolation prize, copies of the new Today's the Day book and newspapers printed and published on the days that you were born. And finally, just time to tell you that today's the day in 1962, the local council in Luton spent £3,000 installing thousands of fairy lights in preparation for the visit of the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh. Then someone pointed out that the royal couple's visit was to take place in the middle of the day. Well, our next lighting up time is tomorrow at 4 as usual. Till then, goodbye.
And a reminder of the Today's the Day phone question. A musical dustman from today in 1993. Who had a #1 hit song with My Old Man's a Dustman? Was it A, Marty Wilde, B, Tommy Steele, or C, Lonnie Donegan? Call 0891 33 9900. The lines stay open until midnight.